My mother was the Queen for a very long time. And although you kind of know that this might happen, you don't really think about it very much. Not least of all because the monarchy is about continuity.
The grand halls of Buckingham Palace have witnessed wars, abdications, scandals, and secrets powerful enough to reshape the course of the British monarchy, yet few moments have carried the quiet tension that was building behind palace walls on the eve of one of the most important diplomatic events of the year. While cameras prepared to capture elegance, tradition, and royal unity, something far more dangerous was unfolding where the public could not see it. And at the center of that growing storm stood Catherine, Princess of Wales, Queen Camilla, and a royal symbol whose value extended far beyond diamonds and gold. For most people, a tiara is simply a piece of jewelry, but inside the royal family, symbols often matter more than words, and the symbol at the center of this unfolding drama carried decades of history, prestige, and emotional weight. The Rose of Windsor Tiara was not merely associated with royal appearances. The Rose of Windsor Tiara represented continuity, legitimacy, and public trust, qualities that have become increasingly important as Prince William, the future king, and Catherine, Princess of Wales, continue preparing for the responsibilities that await them. Yet what happened when Queen Camilla reportedly expressed interest in wearing that particular royal treasure raised questions that palace insiders would struggle to ignore. Why would a single tiara suddenly become the focus of so much attention inside Buckingham Palace? And more importantly, why did the situation appear to create such visible tension between Queen Camilla and figures who have traditionally remained disciplined and discreet in public? According to reports circulating among royal observers, Queen Camilla approached Princess and regarding the possibility of wearing the historic piece for an upcoming high-profile appearance. On the surface, the request sounded perfectly reasonable. After all, Queen Camilla occupies a senior position within the royal family and regularly appears at major state occasions. However, the response Queen Camilla allegedly received was not the answer Queen Camilla expected. Princess, and reportedly explained that the tiara was unavailable because it was undergoing maintenance and restoration work. For most people, the conversation would have ended there. Inside royal circles, however, timing often creates its own story, because shortly after that refusal, whispers reportedly began spreading through palace corridors that Catherine, Princess of Wales, might ultimately be chosen to wear the same royal symbol once preparations were complete. Whether those discussions were formal or informal remains unclear, yet the implications were impossible to miss. If Catherine, Princess of Wales, appeared before world leaders wearing a piece so closely associated with royal heritage, what message would that send about the future direction of the monarchy? Would it simply reflect Catherine's growing role within the institution, or would observers interpret the choice as something far more significant? This is where the story begins to move beyond jewelry and into the far more sensitive territory of influence, perception, and succession. For years, Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, have steadily strengthened their position within public life. Poll after poll has demonstrated the remarkable popularity of Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, among royal supporters. At the same time, King Charles III continues navigating the difficult balance between preserving tradition and preparing the monarchy for its future. In that environment, every public appearance carries meaning. Every photograph becomes a statement. Every symbol becomes a message. And according to some royal commentators, Queen Camilla may have understood that reality better than anyone. What if the issue was never the tiara itself? What if the real concern involved what the tiara represented? Because while Catherine, Princess of Wales, has often embraced a carefully measured approach to royal duty, Catherine's growing influence has become increasingly difficult to ignore. Whether attending international engagements, representing the crown abroad, or supporting Prince William during major state events, Catherine, Princess of Wales, has gradually become one of the most recognizable and trusted faces of the modern monarchy. That rising prominence may explain why reports of the rumored selection immediately generated speculation among palace watchers. And then, just as preparations for the diplomatic gala reached their most critical stage, something happened that transformed a quiet disagreement into a full-scale palace crisis. The tiara disappeared, not in public, not during a dramatic theft, not under circumstances that would easily attract attention. Instead, The disappearance reportedly occurred during what should have been a routine internal transfer, a detail that immediately raised alarm among those responsible for protecting some of the monarchy's most valuable possessions. Security protocols were activated, access records were reviewed, surveillance footage was examined, and suddenly, what began as a dispute over symbolism threatened to become a scandal capable of embarrassing Buckingham Palace before an international audience. But here is where the situation becomes even more intriguing. Because as investigators reportedly began tracing the movements surrounding the missing jewelry, certain connections started emerging that pointed toward individuals far closer to the royal family than anyone expected. Were those connections merely unfortunate coincidences? Or was someone attempting to influence who would stand at the center of the royal spotlight on one of the monarchy's most important nights? As Prince William, the future king, moved quietly behind the scenes, and as King Charles III reportedly faced growing pressure to maintain stability within the institution, Catherine, Princess of Wales, found herself confronting a challenge far greater than a missing piece of jewelry. Because the real battle was no longer about diamonds. The real battle was about trust. And what investigators would allegedly discover next threatened to pull one of the most sensitive family relationships inside the monarchy directly into public view. Before we continue, if you enjoy royal analysis, palace intrigue, and stories that explore the hidden dynamics shaping the future of the royal family, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you never miss our next deep dive. Because what investigators reportedly uncovered next would shift attention away from Buckingham Palace itself and toward a name that few expected to see connected to the growing controversy. The name that reportedly began appearing in investigative discussions was not the name of a palace employee, a security contractor, or an outside intruder. According to the stories circulating among royal observers, the trail allegedly pointed toward Laura Lopes, the daughter of Queen Camilla, and that single development immediately transformed what had seemed like an embarrassing security failure into something potentially far more damaging for the royal family. For Buckingham Palace, the danger was not simply the possibility that a valuable royal heirloom had been moved without authorization. The greater danger was the perception that internal family relationships might somehow be connected to the controversy. Once a story reaches that stage, facts often become less important than public interpretation, and Prince William, the future king, has spent enough years under media scrutiny to understand exactly how quickly a narrative can spiral beyond anyone's control. As investigators reportedly continued reviewing access records and surveillance information, another unsettling possibility emerged. The concern was no longer limited to the disappearance itself. Evidence allegedly suggested that whoever removed the jewelry may have intended something much more sophisticated than simple possession. A replacement, a carefully prepared substitute, a replica designed to resemble the original closely enough to survive public appearances, photographs, and television broadcasts. Think about that for a moment. If Catherine, Princess of Wales, had unknowingly appeared before international cameras wearing a replica while the authentic piece remained elsewhere, what would have happened once the truth emerged? Would criticism have focused on the missing jewelry, or would Catherine, Princess of Wales, have become the center of an entirely different controversy? Many royal commentators believe the answer is obvious. The headlines would not have focused on procedure. The headlines would have focused on Catherine. And that possibility reportedly alarmed Prince William more than almost anything else. Prince William, the future king, has repeatedly demonstrated a strong instinct when it comes to protecting Catherine, Princess of Wales, from situations that could damage public trust. Whether during difficult media cycles or moments of intense public scrutiny, Prince William has consistently understood that perception often becomes reality long before facts fully emerge. That reality may explain why Prince William reportedly began paying extremely close attention to developments behind palace walls as the investigation accelerated. At the same time, King Charles III reportedly found himself confronting a different problem altogether. The challenge facing King Charles III was not simply determining what happened. The challenge involved preserving stability inside an institution already balancing modernization, public expectations, succession planning, and ongoing scrutiny from both supporters and critics of the monarchy. Because every royal crisis creates two separate battles. The first battle concerns truth. The second battle concerns appearance. And sometimes the second battle proves even more difficult. What would you do if exposing the full truth risked damaging the very institution you were trying to protect? That question appears to have been hanging over Buckingham Palace as investigators reportedly followed the growing number of connections surrounding Laura Lopes. According to reports, the inquiry gradually expanded beyond palace grounds and toward locations outside the royal estate. As investigators allegedly examined relationships, movements, and possible access points, attention increasingly focused on whether the missing jewelry and the replica preparation were connected through a coordinated effort rather than a spontaneous act. The implications were enormous, because if planning had occurred in advance, then the controversy could no longer be dismissed as a misunderstanding or a simple lapse in judgment. Instead, the situation would raise uncomfortable questions about motive, timing, and intended consequences. Why did the issue emerge immediately after reports that Catherine, Princess of Wales, might wear the historic tiara? Why did the controversy appear connected to one of the monarchy's most important public events? And why did every road seem to lead back toward individuals connected to Queen Camilla's personal circle? As those questions multiplied, Catherine, Princess of Wales, reportedly remained remarkably disciplined. Rather than engaging in speculation, Catherine focused on maintaining composure while preparations for the diplomatic gala continued. That restraint may seem insignificant from the outside, but within royal life, maintaining calm during uncertainty often becomes a strategic advantage. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla reportedly continued presenting an image of confidence and control. Yet some royal observers believe the atmosphere surrounding Queen Camilla had begun to change. Conversations reportedly became more guarded. Interactions reportedly became more cautious. Even among experienced palace figures, uncertainty can spread rapidly once doubts begin entering the room. And then came the development that allegedly changed everything. According to reports, investigators reached a location connected to Laura Lopes and discovered evidence that appeared to support the growing theories surrounding the disappearance. If those reports are accurate, the investigation was no longer chasing possibilities. The investigation was approaching answers. But answers often create new problems. Because if Laura Lopes truly possessed information capable of explaining how the jewelry disappeared, an even larger question immediately emerged. How much did Queen Camilla know? And perhaps even more importantly, what would King Charles III do if evidence threatened to place members of his own extended family at the center of a royal scandal just hours before a globally watched event? Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because the next chapter reveals the reported discovery that allegedly stunned senior royal figures and forced Prince William, King Charles III, and Princess, and to confront a situation that could no longer remain hidden behind palace doors. And what happened when that evidence was finally placed on the table would push this royal conflict into its most explosive phase yet. When the reported discovery was finally presented to senior figures inside the royal household, the reaction was not dramatic shouting, emotional outbursts, or scenes worthy of a television drama. According to royal observers, the atmosphere became something far more uncomfortable. Silence settled across the room, because everyone present immediately understood that the situation had crossed a line from speculation into something that could carry lasting consequences for relationships inside the monarchy. The evidence allegedly recovered from a property connected to Laura Lopes reportedly included not only the missing jewelry, but also indications that preparations had been made for a substitution. If those reports are accurate, the implications were impossible to ignore. What initially appeared to be a security failure suddenly looked like a deliberate attempt to manipulate one of the most symbolic moments of the entire event. And that is where the story becomes particularly fascinating. Because the objective may never have been stealing a royal treasure permanently. The objective may have been controlling the image attached to that treasure. Think about the timing. The diplomatic gala was only hours away. International media outlets were preparing extensive coverage. World leaders would be present. Cameras would be focused on every movement made by Catherine, Princess of Wales, Prince William, the future king, King Charles III, and Queen Camilla. Under those circumstances, a carefully engineered controversy involving Catherine, Princess of Wales, could have generated headlines around the world within minutes. Would the public have questioned the security team? Or would the public have questioned Catherine, Princess of Wales? Many palace watchers believe they already know the answer. According to reports, Princess and quickly recognized the seriousness of the situation. Unlike many senior royals who often rely on advisors and committees, Princess and has developed a reputation for directness and efficiency. Royal commentators have frequently described Princess and as one of the most disciplined and practical members of the royal family, and those qualities reportedly became essential as the investigation reached its most critical stage. Meanwhile, Prince William, the future king, reportedly focused on a different concern. The priority for Prince William was not simply identifying responsibility. The priority was preventing damage to Catherine, Princess of Wales, before rumors could spread beyond palace walls. Prince William reportedly understood that once speculation reached the media, correcting the narrative would become almost impossible. The modern information cycle moves far too quickly. By the time facts emerge, millions of people have already formed opinions, and Prince William has spent decades watching that process unfold. That concern may explain why Prince William allegedly supported efforts to keep details contained while decisions were being made behind closed doors. Yet one person faced an even more difficult position: King Charles III. According to reports, King Charles III found himself trapped between personal loyalty and institutional responsibility. If allegations connected to Laura Lopes proved accurate, King Charles III would be forced to confront a situation involving individuals linked directly to Queen Camilla. At the same time, failing to address the matter risked creating the impression that different standards existed for different members of the royal family. Can you imagine that dilemma? How does a monarch protect family relationships while also protecting the credibility of the institution itself? That question reportedly became increasingly difficult to avoid. As discussions continued, another reality was becoming impossible to ignore. The public image of Catherine, Princess of Wales, had emerged stronger rather than weaker. Instead of appearing vulnerable, Catherine, Princess of Wales, reportedly maintained the calm, disciplined presence that has helped make Catherine one of the most respected figures within the modern monarchy. Sometimes composure becomes a form of power. Sometimes refusing to react becomes the strongest response available. And according to royal observers, Catherine, Princess of Wales, understood that principle perfectly. Meanwhile, reports suggest that Queen Camilla faced a growing challenge of her own. Even without public accusations, uncertainty can change how people interact. Conversations become more cautious. Trust becomes more fragile. Long-standing relationships begin operating under a cloud of unanswered questions. The most damaging part of any controversy is often not what people know. The most damaging part is what people suspect. And inside royal circles, suspicion can travel faster than official statements. As preparations for the gala enter their final phase, Buckingham Palace reportedly faced an extraordinary balancing act. The event had to proceed flawlessly. International guests could not witness confusion. The royal family could not appear divided. King Charles III needed stability. Prince William needed to protect Catherine, Princess of Wales, Princess, and needed to ensure that facts remained facts rather than becoming rumors. Yet despite all those efforts, one unavoidable reality remained hanging over the palace. Someone had allegedly attempted to interfere with a symbol closely connected to royal legitimacy. Someone had allegedly underestimated how determined Prince William, Princess, and Catherine, Princess of Wales, would be to prevent that plan from succeeding. And just when it appeared that the crisis might finally be contained, a new decision reportedly emerged that would transform the entire evening. Because rather than removing Queen Camilla from public view, senior royal figures allegedly chose a far more strategic response. A response that would allow Queen Camilla to attend the event while simultaneously sending a message that every experienced palace observer would immediately understand. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because the next chapter reveals the reported decision that changed the balance of power inside Buckingham Palace and left Queen Camilla facing a form of royal punishment that required no public accusation, no official statement, and no dramatic confrontation. And according to palace insiders, that decision would make the gala unforgettable for reasons nobody outside the palace initially understood. By the time the doors of Buckingham Palace opened for the diplomatic gala, the crisis itself had reportedly been contained, but the consequences were only beginning to unfold. To the guests arriving beneath the palace lights, nothing appeared unusual. The royal family looked composed. The event schedule remained intact. International delegates moved through the reception areas exactly as planned. Yet beneath that carefully managed image, a silent struggle for position, influence, and credibility was reaching its decisive moment. What makes this chapter so remarkable is that no official announcement was made. No public accusation was issued. No confrontation took place before the cameras. And yet, according to royal observers, everyone who understood palace dynamics could see that something had changed. The reported decision made by senior royal figures was surprisingly simple. Queen Camilla would still attend the event. King Charles III would not create the kind of last-minute absence that would immediately trigger media speculation. Prince William reportedly understood that removing Queen Camilla entirely could create a second crisis larger than the first. Once journalists began asking why a senior royal suddenly disappeared from a major state occasion, the story often becomes impossible to contain. Instead, a different strategy allegedly emerged. Queen Camilla would be present, but Queen Camilla would not be central. And that distinction would prove far more significant than many people initially realized. As guests entered the palace and photographers prepared for the evening's most important images, Catherine, Princess of Wales, reportedly became the natural focal point of attention. That outcome was not entirely surprising. Over recent years, Catherine, Princess of Wales, has become one of the most recognizable and admired figures within the royal family. Public appearances involving Catherine consistently attract attention, and many royal commentators have argued that Catherine represents stability at a time when the monarchy faces increasing scrutiny. Yet on this particular evening, the symbolism reportedly carried even greater weight. Because Catherine, Princess of Wales, appeared wearing the very royal heritage that had been at the center of so much controversy. Think about the message that sent. After days of tension, investigation, speculation, and uncertainty, the symbol allegedly targeted by the controversy was now exactly where many palace insiders believed it belonged. Not hidden, not replaced, not diminished, displayed confidently before the world. Would that moment have been interpreted differently if guests understood everything that had reportedly happened behind the scenes? That question remains one of the most fascinating aspects of the entire story. Meanwhile, Queen Camilla reportedly experienced a very different evening. According to palace observers, Queen Camilla was not publicly embarrassed, criticized, or isolated in any obvious way. Instead, something much more subtle occurred. Opportunities that normally bring visibility appeared to drift elsewhere. Key photographs reportedly emphasized different figures. Important conversations unfolded around Catherine, Princess of Wales, Prince William, the future king, and King Charles III. The effect was almost impossible for outsiders to detect, but insiders reportedly noticed immediately. Because within royal circles, positioning matters. Who stands where matters. Who receives attention matters. Who becomes the visual representation of the monarchy matters. And throughout the evening, that role increasingly belonged to Catherine, Princess of Wales. Some royal commentators believe this was the true turning point, not because of the jewelry, not because of the investigation, but because of what the evening revealed about the future direction of the monarchy. For years, discussions about succession have focused on formal constitutional arrangements. Yet public influence often develops long before official transitions occur. The confidence displayed by Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, reportedly reinforced a perception already growing among many royal supporters that the future generation is becoming increasingly central to the institution's identity. King Charles III reportedly maintained his duties with characteristic professionalism, but even experienced observers noted how naturally attention seemed to gravitate toward Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, throughout the event. Was that simply public preference? Or was Buckingham Palace quietly acknowledging a reality that has been developing for years? As the evening continued, another unexpected consequence reportedly emerged. Rather than weakening Catherine, Princess of Wales, the controversy may have strengthened Catherine's standing among those aware of the situation. Resilience often earns respect inside institutions built upon discipline, and Catherine reportedly demonstrated precisely that quality during one of the most challenging moments of the entire affair. Yet while Catherine, Princess of Wales, appeared increasingly secure, questions surrounding Queen Camilla refuse to disappear. Because public silence does not always eliminate private consequences. Relationships can change without formal declarations. Trust can weaken without dramatic confrontations. And according to some palace insiders, the aftermath of the gala may have created tensions that would continue long after the final guests departed Buckingham Palace. What happens when a controversy ends publicly but continues privately? What happens when key figures inside the monarchy begin viewing one another differently? And most importantly, what happens when King Charles III is eventually forced to decide whether preserving unity is more important than addressing unresolved questions? Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications because the next chapter explores the aftermath of the gala, the reported shift in royal relationships, and why some palace insiders believe the real consequences of this controversy did not begin until after the cameras stopped recording. Because while Catherine, Princess of Wales, may have emerged from the evening stronger than ever, the growing distance between certain members of the royal family was reportedly becoming impossible to ignore. As the lights of Buckingham Palace gradually faded and the diplomatic gala moved into history, the public saw what appeared to be another successful royal event. International guests departed satisfied. Photographs circulated across newspapers and television broadcasts. Official statements focused on diplomacy, tradition, and royal duty. Yet according to palace observers, the most important story of that evening was never captured by the cameras. Because the true consequence of the controversy was not about a tiara. The true consequence was about trust. And trust, once damaged inside an institution as complex as the monarchy, rarely returns to its original form. According to royal commentators, Catherine, Princess of Wales, emerged from the episode with something more valuable than public sympathy. Catherine, Princess of Wales, emerged with increased credibility. Throughout the reported crisis, Catherine, Princess of Wales, avoided emotional reactions, avoided public drama, and avoided becoming distracted by speculation. Instead, Catherine focused on discipline, stability, and responsibility, qualities that many supporters believe have become central to Catherine's growing influence within the royal family. At the same time, Prince William, the future king, reportedly reinforced another important perception. Prince William demonstrated a willingness to protect both Catherine, Princess of Wales, and the institution itself from narratives that could undermine public confidence. For many royal supporters, that combination of loyalty and strategic thinking represents exactly the kind of leadership expected from a future monarch. But here is where the story becomes even more interesting. Because victories inside royal life are rarely complete. Even when a battle appears finished, the consequences often continue quietly beneath the surface. What happens when Queen Camilla realizes that a single controversy may have strengthened Catherine, Princess of Wales, rather than weakened Catherine, Princess of Wales? What happens when relationships inside the royal family begin operating under a cloud of unanswered questions that nobody wishes to discuss publicly? Those questions may ultimately prove more significant than the controversy itself. Meanwhile, King Charles III reportedly faces the most difficult challenge of all. The responsibility of King Charles III extends beyond individual relationships. King Charles III must preserve stability, maintain public confidence, and ensure that personal disagreements never overshadow the institution. Yet history has repeatedly shown that unresolved tensions rarely disappear simply because people stop talking about them. Sometimes silence preserves peace. Sometimes silence postpones conflict. And only time reveals which outcome will prevail. Many royal observers now believe the broader significance of this story extends far beyond a single event at Buckingham Palace. The controversy allegedly highlighted an ongoing transition taking place within the monarchy. Whether through public popularity, growing responsibility, or increasing visibility on the world stage, Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, continue moving closer to the center of the royal narrative. Could that shift explain why symbols, appearances, and public perception have become increasingly important? Could concerns about influence and relevance be creating pressures that few people outside palace walls fully understand? Those are questions worth considering. Because while official titles matter, public confidence often determines who truly shapes the future image of the monarchy. And perhaps that is why this story continues attracting attention long after the gala ended. Not because of jewelry, not because of palace procedures, but because the controversy touched something much deeper, the future direction of the royal family itself. As for Queen Camilla, royal commentators remain divided. Some believe the reported controversy will gradually fade into history. Others believe the lingering questions surrounding the episode could continue influencing relationships behind the scenes for years to come. Regardless of which interpretation proves correct, one thing appears increasingly difficult to deny. The balance of attention inside the monarchy continues shifting toward Prince William, the future king, and Catherine, Princess of Wales. So now we leave you with a final question. Was this merely an unfortunate palace controversy that grew larger than expected? Or was this a glimpse into a much bigger struggle over influence, legacy, and the future of the monarchy itself? And if tensions truly remain beneath the surface, could an even more significant royal confrontation still lie ahead? Share your thoughts in the comments below, because we would love to hear your perspective on this fascinating royal story. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss future coverage of Prince William, Catherine, Princess of Wales, King Charles III, Queen Camilla, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, and the evolving future of the royal family. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.